Hi there, I am back with another informative video. So today I thought I would talk about the subject of the dark night of the soul. You may have heard of that term and maybe not, but I was going to go into a little bit about what that is and what the purpose of it is, and also my experience with it. So the purpose I find with the dark night of the soul is really to bring you to a state of aloneness, like you are fairly isolated. And this can come about by significant events such as the death of a loved one, a loss of a job, divorce, leaving a religion, which was mine. So yes, and so a dark night of the soul really has the purpose of getting you more in touch with your soul, your inner being. And what it creates is space for you to uncover or release any type of mindset, beliefs that hold you back, that no longer are in alignment with who you are becoming. So, for instance, in my case, and you can have several actually dark nights of the soul in your awakening journey. My most significant one was when I was in my 40s, and I had just had kind of a final straw with my religion that I had been raised in and had chosen really as an adult. When I was 20, I chose to become and get baptized as a Jehovah's Witness. And so it really was my faith. It was everything that I believed about the world, about myself, about the future. It was my whole psychological and makeup, my whole psychological foundation of who I was. And so I really believed it to the core of my being. Well, the final straw was when the congregation decided to disfellowship my daughter again for the second time. And I really was very upset with that decision and very just disagreed with it entirely. And I was already kind of at that point where I was tired. I was just not feeling like it was something that I wanted to continue. But I had no idea what was going to happen after that. So, I stopped going to the meetings. Of course, my daughter stopped, and we never looked back. We never went back. Now, it's not as simple as all that because there's a lot of dismantling. For instance, all of the emotional trauma that came from different aspects that happened. I had to process all of those emotions, and there were a lot of them. From different, from marriages to being estranged from my parents for 15 years. A lot of things, a lot of deep scars. And so as I was processing all of that, and then I really lost my connection with God, because I was like, well, if this is the true religion, so to speak, as I believed, then God, if I'm rejecting his religion, then I must be, rejected by God, basically. So I didn't know what to believe then. I was like, oh my goodness, what do I believe? I have no idea. So I kind of like, it was kind of like wiping the slate clean. I had to basically unlearn everything I learned. And so I started doing some research. See, my daughter took a different route. I mean, she kind of, just gravitated to another type of Christian or, non-denominational Christian religion. For me, that wasn't going to work because I believed this was the true religion. So going to another religion, it just wasn't going to work for me. So I decided to do some research, and I just started looking up things on the internet, different spiritual teachings, teachers, healers, and if I found one that really spoke to me, I would maybe do their little course or listen to more of their information. And it just kind of springboarded from there. And it was, if I could tell you how difficult it was very, very, very difficult, because I didn't know who I was anymore. I truly didn't know who I was. I didn't know what to believe. And it's a scary place to be. Plus, on the other hand, in addition to that, I was estranged from my family. I really had no one in my world except for my coworkers, but that was it. That was like my family. So it was super, super challenging. And then, of course, if you know anything about the religion, you realize that your entire friend group, community, is all in the religion. And so when you leave the religion, you lose all your friends, basically. Because there was only one friend that kind of stuck with me for a little bit, and then she kind of faded away too. Because you're kind of taught in the religion that you really should only be friends with those who are other, Jehovah's Witnesses. So anyways, it was a really scary time, but that was my first dark night of the soul. I've since had, I don't know. I don't know if I would classify the other ones. Actually, I've had one like this year. This year has been pretty dark. And I'll get into that probably in another video. But I just wanted to share just this portion, just kind of share that, I've realized that it's not an easy process, and I've gone through it myself. And if you are experiencing anything similar, like a conflict of your faith and your beliefs, and having to really look at that and what you truly believe and how it's changed and what you have to let go of, and how do you do that? I do assist people in working through all of that, because it is a challenging route. And I basically did it by myself. I mean, with help of a few, like spiritual teachers online, basically. So anyways, that's kind of my thing about the Dark Night of the Soul. And if you have any questions, just post them down in the comments, and I will try to get back to you on that and share more information about how to work through that process. And on the other side, I mean, it's really grown me quite a bit, because I've realized that there's way, way, way more to know beyond the limited belief structure that I was existing in, for sure. So I'm glad I did it. It has been very transformative, and ever since, I've grown immensely, even from then. So anyways, I think I'll leave it there and keep it short and sweet. Hope it is helpful to someone, and I will be talking to you in the next video. You have a wonderful day.